Welcome back, everybody. We are going into hour number 2 of today's episode of Nebula Jazz. It is a battle. There is hell to pay. The armies of the Empress are at the gates, trying to batter their way in to kill Slyn and prevent the rise of the Blixnortly Blacta. Rex, you are on the front line. You are immersed in the battle. There are lizard warriors around you, wielding spear and sword, dying in droves. What are you doing? What do you do?
I'm just fighting alongside him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So because you can't make attack actions against them to defeat them, you can instead fight them to try to hold them back for a time.
Yeah.
So each kind of wave, if you can deal them damage enough at certain thresholds, which I will keep a secret because it's more tense that way. At certain thresholds, you'll basically we'll skip their turn if you could push on them hard enough.
Cool.
Your other option would be to boost an existing aspect. So like you could add another use to the hero Slyn side. Or you can create a new aspect, or try to understand the army and figure out what their aspects are, because they have each wave, each group of the army has its own aspects that I'll be.
Oh, as in the enemy?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's try and figure out a strategic. I don't know, something about the opponents that maybe Rex could relay to the soldiers to stem the tide of battles. So.
Okay, so you want to try to discover an aspect?
Discover an aspect.
All right. So the Empress's shock troops. So how do you do that? What does that look like when Rex is doing it? How do you learn the ways of your enemies?
I think for a brief moment, Rex he just like lifts him. He just like pulls himself up onto some stone ruins to just get like a vantage point on the battlefield and see like how the enemy's moving, where they're coming from, how many are left, like all this kind of perspective, because he knows it's going to come in waves.
Right, taking a tactical assessment of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Roll with careful, and difficulty in the chaos. Let's say 3. We'll say difficulty 3 to figure out one of their aspects. Okay, so you got 1. Now you've got lots of available options here for free invokes if you want to.
Yeah.
Or you can spend one of your points. I mean, you only have 1 point left, so.
We'll use a free invoke.
Okay, which one?
We'll use the hero Slyn side and say that the soldiers have been pushed back a considerable distance because of the initial morale of the soldiers around him, and that has given him slightly a less chaotic position to vantage the battlefield from.
Nice. Okay. All right. So these warriors, and you learn this by watching the shock troops of the Empress. They're chosen because they're the most bloodthirsty. They have no fear of death. In fact, they feel nothing. All they feel or all they desire is a thirst for victory and for blood. So they are bloodthirsty warriors, which means that they don't fight tactically. Like they're outnumbering their enemy, but they spend a lot of time stopping to like devour their foe once they're killed. There's no flanking maneuvers. These are just berserkers. So you may be able to use that to your advantage. So the Emperor's shock troops are bloodthirsty warriors.
Cool.
Speaking of whom, here they come. So these bloodthirsty warriors, I've got a 3 on the attack. Someone who is in the plains of self-doubt has to lead the defense. So Rex, I think you're the only one down there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll. How are you going to defend?
I think I have to defend as a unit, right?
Yeah, you're defending. You're leading the troops to defend. You can also describe how you personally are defending, but it's going to be more difficult to just be like, I'm a big dumb hero and I jump into the fight and fight by myself, right? Because you alone can't hold the plains of self-doubt.
Yeah. I think, man, I'm trying to like figure out how I could do it that would benefit my own stats instead of doing something that is like you like roll careful and I have like a -1. Man, I think like how would we do this? Let me look at my character sheet.
Yeah, and that's very much while you look at that. That's very much what the goal is here is, right. How do you narrate your character being the most effective that they can be, but still fit what you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I think that the units, including Rex, have taken like an initial hard defensive approach, and they've formed a kind of wall, a shield wall of sorts, and they're just brute forcing against the berserkers, and you can see the berserkers just climbing over bodies of other berserkers to try and get in, and Rex is kind of like screaming to hold the line, and you can see like their lizard feet are like sliding back in the sand, and you can see like the lines in the sand where they've been pushed back like 25, 30 meters, and they're still just holding their ground. So I think it's more of like a blunt force approach. They're just trying to like lock it down.
Right.
There's not much
just
actual fighting going on.
Right, so you command everyone just to hold, right? To be the bulwark against the tide of lizard warriors. Yeah, so they lock their shields, and we get that very like over audio engineered that like like noise as they like drop them into the sand and get their spears up and create a line of these primitive shields that the bloodthirsty Empress shock troops with their like laser pikes like leap at and crash into. So let's see if they can hold. Go ahead and defend with forceful.
Okay.
I got a 2. Do you want to spend a point? Do you want to use another aspect, or do you want to let the Planes of Self-Doubt take a point of damage?
I think. Can I use moral support?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Now I've got points too, so we'll go back and forth a little bit. But if you do you want to spend to?
Yeah, let's use moral support. You've got like the smaller warriors in the back, and they're kind of like rooting for the bigger ones that are holding the line and stuff. So they've got this constant like cheering behind them, and
yeah, the crash hits the shields, and the bigger warriors holding the shields get pushed back. We see them slide through the sand, wet with blood, and then a bunch of smaller lizards like climb up and push behind them.
Yeah, you see like
and they're all like standing on each other's
like,
shoulders.
Walls of, like little walls, and they're like holding their ankles and like holding them up. You see like Crocs, the giant one. He's like literally lifts up like a fucking giant brick wall, and he's like propping it up himself and all this stuff.
Right. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna use one of my points. I'm gonna use their bloodthirst to give me a bonus as well. So you're at 4, okay, and I'm at 5. Do you wanna keep playing this game, or you wanna let me take the?
What do you think, guys?
I think that he's asking a true hero, to just give up on this.
Well, I'm asking Sam if he wants to keep fighting.
I was referring to Sam. Thank you very much.
Fair. Yeah,
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Rex wouldn't
would never give up.
So I'm gonna use my fate point to use compellingly heroic. Be like, no defeat, no surrender.
Okay. All right. So
if he falls back, what are the other lizards gonna think? It's not happening.
Okay. All right. So the little lizard guys all climb up, and they try to hold, and I think the line starts to break, and we see a moment, and this is representative of the whole battle. We see a moment where one of the warriors, a shock pike goes right through his shield and like into his leg, and he stumbles, and the wall starts to fold where he is because the weak link breaks the chain, right? So it starts to fold, and he looks back and he sees you, Rex, and you see him falling, and like he's falling away from his shield. What do you do to be compellingly heroic, right? You're giving orders from the back first, and then you see that the line is starting to bend as the tide of warriors crashes against it.
Can I get there?
I mean, you're in the battle, yeah. So I just want to give you an opportunity to narrate being compellingly heroic.
Yeah, Rex just kind of like he's like pushing up behind 2 soldiers, like a couple of flanks down from this guy, like maybe 6 or 7 units, and he sees this happen, and he just starts like pushing his way through the crowd, and he just pulls the guy backwards and picks up his shield and just like throws a bunch of berserkers back and like fixes the weakness in the wall, and he like joins the wall himself.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah. So now you're down there, and these 2 lizards, they've like locked arms that you can get your shield.
And you see
up.
like 6 or 7 skinks just drag this one like big lizard away, like towards like the infirmary.
Up to the medic area on the stairs. Cool. All right, Quinn, it's your turn. You're in the temple.
I want to compel Quinn.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh
All right.
boy.
What's the compel?
Quinn,
Oh,
I wanna say that because right now you're, being a sweetheart and you're trying to help me out, pick all the stuff out of my body,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When you reach into my body, you feel something kind of odd, much larger than everything else.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah.
And you pull out a very beautiful looking egg. And I want to say that as one of the guardians, that you know exactly what this egg is, and you are alarmed that Eugene would have it. You can decide what it is, but
Okay.
Yes,
And what do you want?
sure,
What do you want
yeah.
his behavior to be? So this is a behavior compel. What do you want? What do you want Quinn to do as a result of that alarm?
what do I want him to do?
Yeah. Because that's what the behavior compel is, right? It's like, I'll give you this fate point if you do this thing according to this aspect.
You want him to be disgusted.
Well, yeah, that is that is what I was implying, was that like,
Okay. So
that he more that he's like alarmed, that he's like,
So I think the way this will work then is that, Quinn, if you take that point, you use your action to aid Eugene, which will give Eugene a +1 on the next attempt to disgust you.
you're disgusted by my behavior, that I would take something so sacred.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
you can get over the fact that Eugene is pink and covered in cilia, but this is a deeper a cultural disgust. Yeah, you wanna do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
All
Of
right.
course.
So describe what that looks like, and then we'll move on to Aurora's turn.
Quinn starts digging through all of Eugene's gross new body things, from poo to straw to all sorts of awful stuff, and it's just like, come on, Eugene, what is even happening right now? And then reaches in, because you're kind of cloudy and there's a bunch of stuff in you, and feels something, and it doesn't know what it could be, but just gives you this look of like, really? And pulls it out, and as it like gloops out of you, notices that it's this egg that is from the palace. And these eggs, one of the eggs that you've stolen, these are priceless artifacts. Legend says that these eggs were gifted by the first queen of the Slyn, and that they've lasted for several millennia. They are ancient prized artifacts. In fact, they aren't just like crafted eggs. They are eggs that were originally like the very first birthing group of Slyn that ever existed, supposedly, are under there, and then they've been like bronzed and golded over as sort of like baby booties, but it's like an egg thing, and it has gems
Awesome.
and stuff on it, and it would be like if you stole the Shroud of Turin.
I would say,
It's
yeah, like
just
the Dead Sea Scrolls.
yeah,
or
like,
something,
yeah. Something
and then covered them in goop.
Yes, yeah, and then like gooped on them, and then like not only is it goop, but it's also the like crap and like it's
Well, all the worst, all the things that lizard men
Everything
hate
in you.
most. Yeah.
it's now covering this sacred artifact.
Eugene, you just took a shit on the Mona Lisa. Good work.
Yeah. And
Excellent.
Quinn is just looks at it and looks at you, and then looks back at it, and then looks at you, and is just at a loss for words. Then looks up at the all the other lizardmen, who are now like, and everyone is just looking around, and all eyes are now back on you.
Well, what's funny is I think we see like the lizardmen are having this complicated set of feelings where they're like horrified and disgusted, but they're happy that you're so disgusting. So like one of them is like laughing in overwhelmed delight, but also barfing while he's laughing. Like he's like, oh yes, blah. Oh my yes. Blah. So it's very
He really went
complicated
all
for them.
out.
Yeah, like, thank all the Perfect. All right. So Aurora,
Hi.
what are you gonna do? You're down in the infirmary. We see these little lizardmen, the skink guys, dragging up an injured warrior. There are a bunch of warriors from the front line. Some of them, missing. We see one of them. He's missing an arm. Like he's had his arm severed, and he's got the big like rotating like gecko like eyes. And one of the women is like, "Don't worry, it'll grow back." And he's like nodding, like it'll be okay, and like holding his severed arm. What are you and Sparky doing?
As it's like still bleeding, Sparky runs up and his eyes immediately turn like bright red, and this laser beam goes over his arm to like sort of seal it from bleeding anymore. Just to stop it, like kind of like burning it would do. And then like all of them just stare at Sparky in awe, like he just did this with his eyeballs. And Sparky goes up and starts licking the lizard man on the face, and he's just all happy. But and then he gets a beautiful woman to go and like pat away the sweat and make him feel good, like, oh, you did something, you're so brave. And Aurora is just sort of like she's like over all of it, and she's very calm, and she's very like, she's not like Aurora, who's usually like the little cheerleader girl running around being a dork, but she's more so like in her own like happy zen moment. Despite all this chaos around her, she's managed to just not let it affect her at all. And she's sort of trying to be an example to them, say, hey, we don't need to freak out. This is happening, and we need to take care of it and be strong. And
you're trying to keep people calm.
Yeah, and they have like two women are playing like calming music in the background. One's like on a harp with this just really calming and beautiful. And then Sparky keeps going amongst the people who are bleeding and just tending to their wounds real quick. So yeah, that's
awesome.
Doing. So
there's some like corny 80s new age music playing, like Enya or some shit, like in the background.
Yeah, pretty well, yeah. One of the
pan pipes
singing while one plays the harp, so it is like Enya almost, only it's live.
Yeah, I like it. Some Michael Flatley. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So so you want to? It sounds to me like you're trying to create a calming aspect. Right?
Yeah, I'm trying, like, despite like all this disgust and then this like chaos of people getting injured.
Oh my God, Yanni, yeah.
Like people come over here and they're like, oh, despite all that, it's, it was worth it. It's for the Blixnor, and we're actually like in this. This is a good thing, and we're calm.
Okay.
And the people that can go out, they like want to calm them so that they go back out stronger than before or more confident. So. Okay.
All right. So make make like either a flashy or a careful, because you're kind of performing, so that would be flashy, or a careful roll. Either one. It sounds like you could do both. Obstacle or difficulty is 3.
Okay, I got this.
Creating aspects in battle right now is 3. Yes, you do got this. Nice work. What do you want to call it, or do you want to just recharge moral support?
Can you recharge it? It's been used, so.
Yeah, it's been used, so you can just charge it up. So you can keep that.
Just recharge. She's still just being the moral support right now. She hasn't gotten to her moment to like go directly to Quinn, so.
Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. Cool. Well, Eugene, you have another chance to really just get in there and make Quinn disgusted. What do you do?
So. At this point, I have Quinn looking at me like, how could you? The entire group of lizard men who are watching this are all just like offended. And I feel a little defensive, right? So I sort of drop the whole like, rah thing. I go, oh, please. What? You're all gonna judge me? Me? I was disgusting before you ever found me. You trying to make me more disgusting? Do you even know who I am? Like, just fucking losing it. And I rounded off with something like, even if that was a living, breathing baby lizard man covered in gold, I still would have stolen it. And then I wanna roll to just like morally disgust Quinn in this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Eugene, now might be a good time for you to get disgusting. Okay. So same thing, flashy. You've got an additional +1. And go ahead and roll. Difficulty is 6.
It's flashy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, flashy or forceful.
Okay, it's a 2.
So you're 4, halfway 5, there.
6. Okay.
It's actually a 3, right? Because you've got help from
right.
Quinn.
It's a 3. So I will use 1 for disgusting coward, because Lord knows.
Yep. Okay.
And then let's see. What do we have as like a freezy?
So you've got 2 options, 2 uses of the Return of the Blixnort. 1 use of He Who Smelt It, Dealt It, and 1 use of moral support.
Could I use He Who Smelt It, Dealt It on the grounds that like they told me to be fucking disgusting, And I.
Right, it's like you're looking at them. I love your speech too. Is like you're looking at me like, look, this is what you wanted. Yes,
Yeah,
feed me
this
your
is
disgust.
what I am.
This is on you. You made me this way. Yeah, okay. You knew what this was.
hmm
Awesome. Yeah, totally. You can use he who smelt it, dealt it.
Cool. So I'll outdo it by 1, right? It'll be a 7.
Yes, yeah, that'll do it.
Cool.
So the way this works now is that you're set up. Quinn, you'll have to use your next turn to express your disgust. You use a turn to show your embrace of this disgusted feeling, and then we'll move on to the trial of sadness. So good work, Eugene. Rex, dear sweet, no fate point Rex. We see you trying to hold the line, right? And we see one of the warriors, one of these like Empress warriors, climb up the shield. Someone next to you stabs him in the face, and his blood splatters down onto you. And there's guys crashing into the shield, and in your mind the best thing to do here is to hold it, right? It's not to give in to the blood frenzy you can feel boiling up inside you. There's so much meat. There's just like corpses everywhere, and you feel the hunger coming on you. I'm going to compel you to forego the defense of the line this turn, and instead attack your enemies, to throw yourself into the battle and break the line, because you're a shark, bro. Sharks don't defend. Sharks attack.
Damn.
So, describe how that looks.
You're muted, honey.
Yeah. Oh, also, yes,
Right,
technically
yeah,
you're
okay.
wet now. You're covered in the blood of your enemies. So
yeah,
that's
Right.
I think Rex
this
is
round.
starting to like lose focus, and he like shakes his head a little bit. And the lizard line has been going strong so far. They've got this really unique tactic where the bigger, strong lizards hold the line, and then occasionally they'll push out, and all the little skink dudes with their pikes will appear in the gaps and just like stab the berserkers and then vanish again between their legs, and then they like lock it
Yeah.
down again.
Yeah,
And so this
yeah.
has been going on for a while, and Rex realizes that like the line's gonna crumble. Like he can't focus anymore. He has to just get in there, and he kind of like reaches back and like grabs another lizard, and he's like, "Take this shield," and he kind of just like hurriedly like throws it to the guy, and just like fucking arms wide just eagle bombs into the crowd of berserkers.
Yeah, right. And
just-
you're like, hold the shield, and you like leap in, and I think three little lizards like standing on each other's shoulders like run up. They're like, ah, no, what are we gonna do? And they like push up behind the shield.
Yeah.
As you jump into the battle. You're just like, rah. And if the last scene was Eugene revealing to us that his secret is that he's always disgusting, this is your like Hugh Jackman shirtless Wolverine moment, right? You just leap into the battle, all your friends are behind you, you're essentially alone outside the safe zone,
Yeah.
and you're surrounded by shock troops.
Okay.
And then
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
and then what do you do? You just like leap at the nearest guy trying to tear him apart?
I'm just in a flurry of punches and kicks. I'm just dying from guy to guy, disarming, subduing, biting, clawing, and
Okay.
then yeah.
Awesome.
Like
Okay.
literally all the behavior patterns that these soldiers are exhibiting, I'm just replying with like a bigger, meaner version.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and attack with it sounds like quick probably because you're fighting like a shark.
Okay.
Oh shit. Awesome. Look at you. All right.
Yeah.
So the bloodthirsty warriors will defend. Okay, so you got a 7, I got a 5. Do you want to spend your fate point or boost it at all, or are you okay with 2?
Wait, is it going to change anything if I make it a 4?
I mean, obviously more damage is always better than less damage.
True. Yeah, let's make it a 4.
Okay. So what are you going to use?
Let's use looks like a shark is probably a shark.
Okay.
And I'm just in a blood frenzy, just bathing in the blood, the green blood. I'm just covered in green.
Right, and I
you
think-
see
I mean,
like you see like limbs flying off. You see like dudes screaming, and like a couple of guys like fly up in the air.
Nice. And this isn't like it's not combat anymore, right? This isn't a battle for you.
No.
We can see that a battle is going on elsewhere.
It's feeding time.
But this is a frenzy.
Yeah.
This
is
is
including your wet body boost.
the wetness bonus is for defending, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Let me
I think it's attack.
no, actually, because it's +2 when you attack when you're wet.
Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be a 6.
Okay. All right. So that's 1.
Why not?
2. Okay, I'm gonna need to spend a point if I want to keep the shock troops, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna spend a point on their bloodthirst to keep them going. But yeah, you're just like tearing off limbs and biting people in the face, and the warriors behind you, I think, look on in a combination of like fear and awe.
Can I
like,
expend another point?
well, you don't have any more points. But
I do. I have
if
moral
you could-
support.
Yeah, if you could justify, I don't know if you could justify moral support in this case. You are outside their like. Yeah, I don't know if moral support
But
makes
I'm
sense. 'cause you're on your
providing
own.
moral support to them, the other men, right?
Yeah, it's the other way around. That moral support is there to support you. Not that they're scared of you. Like this is not how lizard men fight.
Yeah, but I'm on their team.
Yeah,
But you're horrifying. You're a
horrifying monster.
shark man.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think not so much. Yeah, I mean you're shredding them. The Empress is gonna have to send in different troops. The shock troops, they have one last hurrah, so they're gonna throw themselves against the line. We'll see if we can break the planes of self-doubt before you can kill off the shock troops. Let's see how we do. Now there's no defending because there's no one on the line. Rex is out there ripping shit up. So yes, they deal 3 damage, and the planes of self-doubt fall. So this means that on your turn, unless you want to attack, you have to use your move.
Hang
to fall
on,
back
I'm
to
still on
state.
the planes. That was the rules. Someone on the
It
planes
is.
can defend.
Yes, but I also compelled you not to defend. I compelled you to attack. That's what that frenzy was about.
But you get to attack and defend. That's how combat works.
Right, but I said the compel was that you don't defend. You could still take your turn, but the compel was for not defending.
Adam, I don't know if
The
you're gonna
compel
win this
was-
one.
All
I
right,
don't know if you're
fine.
gonna win. He'll never give up. Sam will never give
I
up this fight.
specifically did say that you don't defend. That was what that compel was. This is what
Okay, fine.
happens when you don't have any fate points, Rex. So the ones that aren't immediately, the shock troops that aren't immediately around you, you've killed off those warriors. You've driven most of them away, but without you holding the line, I think that little group of 3 lizard guys that were holding up the shield, they fall, right? So they get the shield pulled down. One of them gets picked up and like bitten in half, and then the line kind of falls as they push through, and the groups. The group that was holding their shields, they all fall inward to defend themselves from behind, and what used to be a wall of shields just becomes a skirmish, and the warriors, the lizardmen warriors, start to fall back to the stairs of discovery. So this is going to be fighting on the stairs. Rex, you can join them up on the stairs on your next turn. You could attack, but that's where we are.
Some compels down on the battlefield, team.
Yes. Well, now Aurora,
That would be-
you're going to be in the battle. So I refresh my pool when the planes fall, when we fall back to the stairs. And Quinn, describe to me your purpose here. What are you going to do? You have to tell me. Basically, use this turn to describe Quinn's disgust. Show us how you've overcome the trial of disgust with Eugene's help.
So Quinn is blown away by the things Eugene just said to these people who clearly are just trying to help, and can't believe that everything Eugene does is just so disgusting and cowardly. It's almost like it's one of his traits, and it's infuriating. And he looks down at Eugene and the egg that is covered in crap, and it's just like, Eugene, I can't believe you. This is so disgusting. Why? Like, you're a disgusting person. There's nothing redeeming about you. You're terrible. You are just, what is the matter with you? What? How are you like this? Like every time you run away from a fight and you cause trouble and you never help, it's like you're not even a good person. I can't. He's just like so disgusted with you on just a deeply emotional level. He's like, you never changed. Do you have no feelings at all?
So Quinn's disgust comes out in the form of like just pouring all of this negative catharsis onto Eugene. Eugene, what are you doing while Quinn is just berating you? And you can feel it. Quinn means this shit. This isn't just the usual like, hey Eugene, you're a bit of a moron. This is like, you are the worst. You are literally the worst thing I've ever been anywhere near. How does Eugene respond?
I mean, Eugene's gotten that kind of beratement his whole life, right? Maybe not.
This is like like sacred emotion level, like high power disgust.
Yeah. That's, I was gonna say, like, maybe not from a person or, you know, a thing that he considers a friend, but he knows how to shut down and just kind of take it. So he just sits there and listens. But you know the emoji that's just the two eyes in the line? That's kind of, that's
your
like
mouth has
Eugene's,
vanished.
That's like Eugene's general, like just like letting him get it all out. And whenever Quinn is done and there's a moment of silence, he just goes, "All right, cool. Did I do it? Are we done?"
And Quinn is like, no, Quinn's like, no, we're not done. What is the matter with you? And he like grabs your like by the slime cheeks and just starts shaking you. He's like, why? Why would you do this? This you've defiled one of our most precious artifacts, Eugene. Every time. Why do you have to keep stealing? Like, why? And he's like just like shaking and you're just like slimy flopping back, like,
flapping around.
Why?
And all of the other lizard, the priests, and like Emotac is like nodding and wiping vomit off of his face, and the other lizard priests are like just watching in like fear, where they're just like, oh, it's really happening, but also this is super gross. But like above that, it's working. And the whole temple fills with the scent of disgust. What does Lizardman disgust smell like, Quinn? What smell is it?
Broccoli.
Nice.
Like
okay,
cooked
sweet.
broccoli.
We smell a powerful broccoli scent. This would be the part where, like, if you're in the 4D theater, the seat emits broccoli scented aerosol in your face. Yeah. All right. So you've overcome the trial.
This is a
of
pretty
disgust.
easy segue into sadness, I feel.
Yeah.
At this point.
Aurora, the battle is you're in the battle now. So both you and Rex are kind of like overcome by this wave as the last of the shock troops pour up the stairs, and now you're fighting on the stairs. Your little triage area kind of breaks up. Some of the wounded run up the stairs towards the village, and now you need to participate in the battle. The time has come. What do you do, Aurora?
I kill everyone.
Yeah, so you're gonna attack. You want to attack the shock troops?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that look like?
Can I attack them with shock?
Yeah. Yes. Describe what you do.
Technomancer mage thing, whatever I am.
Oh my god, are you gonna dubstep them to death?
Yeah. Obviously.
She just runs out and lifts up her top, and everyone stops fighting.
I just imagine
shock.
I just imagine this situation where you like hold your hands out and like hologram turntables appear and you like adjust your headphones and then just blast them with sound waves.
Just like blast them.
Like Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, exactly. You have techno magic. You can do all kinds of bullshit with that. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, that's a forceful attack, forceful or flashy, whichever you prefer, whichever is higher. And then I'll have to use a defense for these guys. But yeah.
I got so I think what happens is I roll out. I'm just calm, and like my hair is like blowing in the like little whiffs of hair blowing in the wind, even though it's still up. And Sparky runs out, and he just like sits in front of me and turns into a table, and I just immediately just start playing, and music just blasts. Like,
awesome.
Like just deafens anyone with just pure sound. So
awesome. Rad. Okay.
I guess forceful would be it.
Yeah, it sounds forceful to me. So as these lizards come running up, yeah, waves of energy and sound vibration just pour out from Sparky's speakers. Go ahead and make that attack. Nice. All right. So I'll roll.
Afterwards, I say, you can find me on my website. I just like this way.
All right.
Look up my MySpace.
So I'd have to spend 2 points just to match with you. So I think you defeat the wave of shock troops. I think that first rushing wave, the last ones that Rex didn't eat, they get repelled and destroyed. They go flying down the stairs. The stone vibrates and like crumbles, and they'll kind of like stagger and fall. Now there's more army coming up behind them onto the stairs, and the planes have still fallen, but you've bought yourself a turn of reprieve. I won't get to attack this turn, so you've defeated this like wave of guys.
Awesome.
Good work, Aurora. Eugene, now that your trial is done, what are you gonna do? You're free. You've proven that you can disgust Quinn.
Right. So is there like
You're surrounded by people who literally like just hate you right now, though. Like you both helped, but also like they're like, oh God, like everything Quinn said is true. The Messiah just said that this creature is disgusting. You play a difficult role here because,
it was my job to discuss.
It was your job, and you did it so well that like afterwards they'll probably demand that you're exiled from the planet forever, and like you'll go down as being like the worst thing that's ever happened to this planet. But yeah, so what do you do?
They'll replace all of the Quinn statues with just statues of me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave. I'll use my turn to go to the temple village.
Okay. All right. You can do that for free anyway because you're in the sanctum. So you leave the sanctum.
Oh, okay.
And go to the.
I thought I had to use a turn to move.
Yeah,
zones.
you get one free move. You can move all the way down into the battle if you want to go join the fight, or you can go into the village and still do something.
I don't think there's really much to do in the village, right? So I guess I'll just like. Yeah, I guess I'll just like mosey my way down the stairs of discovery and see what's going on.
Okay. All right. So now Aurora and Eugene are both in the soon-to-be battle at the Stairs of Discovery. Rex, you are in the bloodbath that is the Plains of Self-Doubt, but you have time to gather yourself, to feed, and to do something. What do you want to do?
I think the people on the stairs are like regrouping, and there's like just a swirling sandstorm at the bottom of the stairs, and they just hear like a last like Wilhelm scream of like a lizard just getting like his throat ripped out, and then you just see like Rex slowly coming up the stairs, and he's like drenched in like green blood.
Yeah,
and,
Rex has a little bit of like a little belly on him because he's been like jamming lizard parts down his throat.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Totally.
And it's like you can tell it's like war paint's all smeared, and but I would like to create an aspect for the army that is like, we did it, we beat the first wave.
Right.
Like
yeah.
We can hold this.
We can do it. Yeah. Okay. I have a good name for this one if you get it. It's difficulty
Please
3.
Feel free.
It's difficulty 3, and you're just doing it by the pure like you emerge from the battle and you're like, see, I told you. Yeah. So it's just your pure presence. Okay. Yeah. So flashy. Go ahead and roll.
Difficulty 3.
Difficulty is 3. Yep.
Damn.
Okay.
Not so much. Now I will say so your option here is either keep the fail and we'll create the aspect and I get it. I get a free boost on it, or you can spend the points. But the thing is, if you spend the points to get to 3, all you're doing is spending points to get them and to prevent me from doing it. Right. Like if you use, say, Return of the Blixnort to create this aspect, we'll just take one off Blixnort and you'll get another aspect with a boost.
But that's probably better than giving you an aspect, though.
Yes. I mean, that's up to you. If you want to spend that point.
It sucks, but let's do that just so that we basically don't give you free shit.
It's a good call. All right. So I think you'll agree that Stairway to Heaven is the appropriate aspect
definitely.
here. Okay. So yeah, it's their sacred duty to guard these stairs, to spill their blood, and they see you emerge. They thought you lost, right? They were like, "Oh, he gave into the blood frenzy. Rex must be dead." But you come up from the plains of self-doubt, and there's a cheer that goes up among the lizards as they get ready for the next wave. They're like, "Yes, we can do it."
Cool.
So from the Empress's army, the shock troops are done. We cut back to the Empress on her like battle throne, kind of at the back of the army. And remember, she's huge. She's like, 30 feet tall or whatever.
There's like
and
60 serpents carrying like this
Yeah.
golden throne and platform.
She's just
Yeah.
Xerxes now. That's all you just created.
Yes,
Xerxes.
that's the analogy. Yeah. So she's on her throne and she's like watching. I think she's got like a telescope or something, like a monitor. And she like looks down and she shakes her head. And she turns to her like her major domo or one of her vipers and she says send in the beasts. And we cut to like a bunch of kind of like dinosaur creatures, like huge kind of like vaguely reminiscent of like a stegosaurus or a triceratops or something, but not any earth thunder lizard. And they all have on their backs these huge like energy weapons, these sort of mortars, and they're being driven along by women with these long pikes. And so we see them roar and like pull at their chains and then start to move forward towards the battle. And then there's a bunch of smaller like lizard warriors kind of guarding them. And so they're going to spend their turn approaching these battle beasts. So Quinn, on your turn, I'm adding a new character to the trials who will help you understand your sadness.
Dave?
But
Dave?
you can still take a turn. No, Dave's not here, man. Dave's somewhere else playing his Game Boy.
Dave's not here, man.
No, it's Crocsep,
Okay.
who recognizes who is here to remind you of what you've lost, of the things that once were the glory of the empire that used to be. Crocsep is a slow motherfucker though, so he's gonna go after you, Eugene. But you see him emerge. And Crocsep is a mighty warrior. He's been mutated and ruined by the magic of the Empress. But once you were brothers, right? Once you stood shoulder by shoulder defending the council, which is now gone. Everything that you cared about before has been lost. And when you look on him, you see, I think, the tragedy, the shame, right? There's a deep sense of loss that starts to kind of well up in you. What do you do to prepare yourself for the trial of sadness?
I don't think there's any preparing that Quinn does. The realization that the egg in his hand, the like shit-stained egg that represented his culture's like founding, the fact that his brother and like the last of his men who refused to give in, who he just sort of let be killed in front of him, is now this deformed, hideous, giant brute. Quinn looks at him and realizes that like everything in his life and everything that he knew and his whole society is gone, and all the traditions they're trying to keep and everything that he fought for his entire life for is gone, and he's like overcome with sadness, and it isn't, there's no preparing him for how terrible he feels, because he realizes that it's there's nothing he could have done. It was like gone way before he got there, and he dumbly and stupidly believed that he was fighting for something that still existed.
Nice. Okay, cool. So mechanically, do you want to just give me the +1 when I roll for Crocsep? Or
Sure.
do you want to try to create it? Yeah, you want to do that? Okay, that's probably the smoothest way here. Okay. So Aurora, you've just blasted away the group of lizard men that were climbing, enemy lizards that were climbing the stairs. You can see in the distance these large dark shapes kind of moving through the cloud of dust towards you. You've got this turn before they arrive. What do you want to do? Eugene appears at your side.
Well, that's not fair. That's what I do. How far away am I from Quinn? Am I in the same area still?
Quinn, yeah, you're on the stairs. Quinn is in the inner sanctum.
Oh, okay. So I need to make my way to the inner sanctum, right? Away from these dino dudes, raiders.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you'll need to be there for the trial of happiness.
These guys. Okay. Well, oh, dear Lord, this is not going to be easy, is it? Can I hack the guns?
Which oh, you don't have access to the Empress's army yet. They're not in the
When
in
they
the scene.
arrive, that's a
When they
good
arrive,
idea,
yes.
So what do I want to do
Yes.
before they arrive? Okay. Well, okay. I, with my Santa bag, my never-ending bag, like in Harry Potter, how she keeps just pulling in and pulling stuff out. My never-ending bag, pull out some explosives, and I want to prepare them.
Okay.
I want to go with my wub wubs. I need some explosions and fire. Okay.
Right, you need some pyrotechnics.
I
Okay.
basically want to Rammstein the hell out of this group. Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Unfortunately, Rammstein would not exist for another like 10 years after Earth was destroyed. So there's no really no industrial whatsoever. But you could
But you know
invent
what
it.
I mean. Well, you know what I mean. I'm going to be
Yes,
the Rammstein.
exactly. Be the Rammstein you want to see in the world. All right. Go ahead and roll clever, I think, because you're setting up these explosives and you're
Yeah.
going to create an aspect that you can use later to trigger against them. So go ahead. Oh shit. All right.
Hell yeah.
So you beat it with style, which means you get two free invokes of your explosions.
Nice.
There you go. There you go, my friend.
Yes.
So you've laid out a bunch of these pyrotechnics, these explosive charges that you can use when they get into the area, and anyone can trigger them. Good work.
Yay.
Okay, Eugene.
So so we're just kind of in the preparatory phase, right?
Yeah, I mean, you
Right
can
now?
see these lumbering beasts moving towards you, these sort of mortar creatures heading up towards the battle. But they're not at you. You're not fighting you yet.
So Eugene is like kind of sad. He,
Yeah, right.
you know, he like put on the ditto face for the entirety of the beratement and then left like, all right, well, I'm just gonna leave. I don't fucking care. I did my job. Leaves. And if someone knew Eugene really well and saw him going through that village, they would find it odd that he never once thought I could loot this place and nobody would even know. Like
Yeah.
he like went through that village just really sadly, didn't really want to loot. That's how you know something wrong. And just like is just reflecting on himself like, man, I really am just a disgusting piece of shit. Right?
Right.
Gets to the stairway and Aurora's doing some fucking weird shit and Rex is covered in blood. Surprise.
Well, and what's great here is that if you wanted to make an aspect about like an air of sadness, like you're already feeling fucking sad. So yeah,
Right.
that's awesome. Cool. Well, so yeah, what do you want to do with your action? You get something you can do. You can move and do something if you want, or you can create an aspect.
I wanted to create an aspect. I don't know, because I figured that like lizards wouldn't be able to smell my sadness, right?
No.
Like that's not.
Yeah.
But what I can do is very sadly just kind of stand at the top of the stairs looking down just sort of blankly and without realizing it because I'm still pink and smelly and not great. Without even realizing it, I'm just kind of like a gross monster that's standing at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, it's playing the sad the Peanuts music, like whomp, 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 and you're just kind of like looking down.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Eugene. Okay, what do you want to call this? You're creating an aspect, right?
Yeah, I want to.
Okay,
I
what
want
do
to
you
call
call
it. I'll call it the monster within.
Nice. Right, because you're the monster within the group, but everyone
I'm the
has
monster
a-
within the group.
Right, I get it.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, go ahead and roll. It's difficulty is 3. And I feel like, yeah, I mean, I feel like careful or clever are both applicable here.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no approach for like just being emotional. Oh yeah, no problem. All right, there you go. Look at all these aspects you got.
Yeah. So I'm just at the top of the stairs thinking about my life, like what a piece of shit I am, and how Quinn's always been a great friend to me. Not even realizing that I'm probably making a few lizard men barf right now.
Yeah, like there's a group of them that just move away from you. They're just like, God, fuck, I'm trying to fight over here. Jesus.
It's probably because I'm the worst. And not because I'm pink.
You're actually the worst. It doesn't matter what color you are. You're the worst on the inside.
Feels so
Cellular level disgusting. It's deep. All right. So in the inner sanctum, Crocsep approaches. He approaches you, Quinn, and he stands before you. You look up at his mutated form, and he says to you, "Do not look away from Crocsep, brother. Look upon his twisted scales, upon his broken claws, his horrible teeth. Look long and hard, brother. Crocsep is what you could have become. Crocsep is Lizard Man now." And he grabs you by the shoulders and like turns you around to look at the battle, and you can see these like dead lizard men lying on the stairs and like out in the field, and he says, "Take long hard look at battle, brother. We are raised to fight. Crocsep fight alongside Quinn many times, but for nothing. The council is dead, Quinn. The queen is corrupt." He shakes his head. "There is nowhere to go from here. Even if Quinn is Blixnort Libolacta, then what? Rebuilding will be hard. Crocsep has no future. Think, Quinn, because Quinn has no future among Lizard either." And he like just gestures out like, "All of this is for naught. We could have been something, but now," he shakes his head, and like a single mutant tear, slides between his scales and falls to the floor. And yeah, he's trying to invoke like a deep hopelessness in you so that you can understand that like all those hundreds of years that you spent training, all that time was for nothing, right? You're still here. You're still disgraced. So he's going to roll, and I'll let you, because he's on your team, I'll let you decide if you want to let him use any of your aspects or whatever. His difficulty is 6.
Okay.
Let's see how he does.
Oh, nice.
All right, it's close. It's close. So, do you want to let him use? You got lots of aspects.
My God, we do. Can we use? I mean, can I take moral support? No. Well, shit. What is he? So he's trying to make me feel
He's just
supreme sadness because of.
you know what? You use your turn to help him. You don't have to spend it. He's got 6 already.
That's right. I did.
That's right. You already helped him.
Yo, chat called that. Thanks, chat.
So we'll, on your next turn, Quinn. So he tells you this and you let it sink in. And I think that's what we get. This is actually perfect because the army is approaching these huge overwhelming beasts with their cannon weapons are approaching the front line. The soundtrack starts to get ominous as Crocsep is like basically telling you it doesn't matter if we win this fight or not. And even if you become the Blixnort, you're still going to be separate from the people that you care about, and all that time will have been for nothing. Soundtrack gets all sad and intense, and I think we'll take our break here. So stick around. More trials, more tribulations, more Blixnort when we get back.